What's going on, guys? Been a long time. Actually, what was the last video? Oh, it wasn't too long ago. We repaired that titanium heat shield. But today, you can see behind me, we've got a '09 Subaru Legacy, I believe. Motor swap, a little bit different turbo, a few other odds and ends. So we got to make some exhaust stuff and we got to do a few other things. I'm going to take you around the car, show you what we're going to be doing with it. But the focus of this video is we're actually going to be repairing a titanium exhaust. And there's no surprise that it's your typical titanium exhaust. Not going to mention the brand name, you guys will see that. But they always crack everywhere, including coming completely apart, which is what this one did. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to focus on fixing one of the cracks because we can't actually fix the tube until we get it up in the car. This exhaust was not designed for a Legacy, so we may have to do some modifications, and I don't want to go buying a whole bunch of titanium right now until we know how this thing is going to fit. But I want to make sure that we fix the cracks and get all that stuff done. Then the other plans for this car is we got to build a downpipe, we got to mount the exhaust, we got to pull everything into place. We're going to go a little bit custom on the downpipe because I don't like the way that it sits. We're mounting an external wastegate, which on a twin scroll turbo is going to be kind of interesting. You guys are going to see what we're going to do, and I'll explain it to you and some of the pros and cons of what we're doing. But yeah, for now, I'll show you the titanium exhaust. I'll show you the spot that we're going to be focusing on today, and then I'll take you guys over to the car. I'll let you know what we're going to be doing to the car. So here's the titanium exhaust that shall remain nameless, that are very prone to cracking. And you can see this one's pretty well used. But you can also see that guy right there. So that right there is what we call hooped. Titanium's all wrapped up and bent. It's got this muffler tape around it. It's got muffler tape around that side. So what we're going to end up doing with this is we're going to cut it here, cut it there, put it up in the car, cut the length of piece we need to fill that gap, and then we'll weld everything back together. But we can't do that till we get it in the car. What we're going to focus on today is, let me see if I can pull this up, the typical cracking issues and lack of focus. Come on, buddy. There we go. That nice big chunky crack right there from the no-name brand that cracks all the time. So we are going to fix that crack. But before we do, let me take you guys over to the car and we'll show you exactly what we're going to do with this. So, as you can see up there, we've got new exhaust flange. You won't be able to see, but we welded the internal wastegate shut. So we are going to have to build a new downpipe, come from here and come out, 3-inch. And then off of these two pipes right here, this is a twin scroll turbo. This is where things are going to get a little controversial with all you guys. Those two pipes right there feed individual circuits within the actual exhaust housing of the turbo. Now, those are always supposed to be separated. They're supposed to be kept separated, and technically you should be running twin gates on this. But because the owner is going to be running very low boost levels, not going to have a whole ton of power in this motor, a small gate, I think it's like a 38 or 44 millimeter gate, it's not a very big gate. What we're going to do is we're going to do a single gate. And we're going to come off of each one of these tubes, these are 1.5-inch tubes, come over this way to 1.75 inches, and then to the gate, and the gate will sit up where my light is right about here. So yeah, we will be merging those two pipes before they hit the turbo, which is not ideal and it's not optimal. However, for this application, I don't think it's going to cause any issue. We should still get good spool up, we should still get pretty decent flow, and the gate should operate normally. I personally don't like doing it this way, however, it does work. But you kind of lose some of the efficiency of the twin scroll and, you know, blah, 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 because technically you're connecting both exhaust ports together and it just turns it into one big housing. But there are plus and minuses to it, and this one's not going to be super accurate, making tons and tons of horsepower where it's really going to matter. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come off of those two exhaust header pipes. We're going to merge it down into one pipe. We're going to put the gate in, and then we're going to merge the gate back into the exhaust. He does not want an open dump on this thing. So that's what we're planning on doing there. Then of course we got to run our downpipe in the same area, run the exhaust in the normal area for this car, which comes, you know, all the way out here or whatever. And it'll be all that exhaust stuff. Now, the reason why we're remaking the top half of the downpipe, most of these turbo Subarus use this big housing right here. Because of the internal wastegate, you need to have room for that internal wastegate to dump out. So they use that big, I don't know what you would call it, housing, but we're going to need to get rid of that so that we have room to put the gate in. With that massive piece there, we don't need it. All we need is a straight 3-inch pipe off of that flange and we'll be good. So what we're going to do now is I'll take you guys over to the bench and we're going to work on cleaning up this titanium and fixing that crack. Alright, so hopefully you guys will be able to see this if I bring it a little bit closer for you, but that crack is pretty extensive. And what we're going to do first off is we need to clean this area up. This thing has been underneath the car for a while and it's had a ton of exhaust go through it. I don't necessarily like using wire brushes on titanium because of the finish that it leaves, so what I tend to use is literally just a green Scotch-Brite. You can tell it's getting late. So we're going to clean this up really well with Scotch-Brite, get it down to the bare metal. Once we get it down to bare metal, I'm going to hit it with some acetone. We'll clean it up real nice. We are going to back purge this just to get the best weld possible. So we've already got, in the end here, we've already got our back purge plug. We are going to be purging this with some argon. Looks like we've also got a huge crack at the flange, which I didn't see before, so we need to fix that too. Fun. Alright, so let's start with this crack. Let's get this thing cleaned up a little bit. And then from there, we will do our best to repair these cracks. Alright, so now we're just going to hit it with a microfiber and some acetone. You guys are going to have to pardon all the noise. It's nice outside and I've got the doors open. So it is a little bit noisy from the road. Alright, let's get this acetone open. And guys, acetone on any metal that you're welding is a huge help, especially aluminum and titanium. You don't want any fingerprints, you don't want any debris, any dirt, anything really. You just have to remember to be super careful where you put your rags, because sometimes when you're welding, you set your rags on fire, and that's never a good time. Alright, yeah, you can see, even after we clean that with the Scotch-Brite, we still got a good bit of dirt off of it. So now we're going to fire up the welder. Make sure we move the acetone out of the way. And we're going to start. Anytime you have a crack in anything, looks like we might have to go a little bit further with that, but anytime you have a crack in something, you're always going to want to start your weld beyond the crack. Beyond the crack. It's like some weird porno. You want to start beyond the crack by about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, just to make sure that you get all of it. You don't want to weld it only to have it crack again in the same spot you just welded it in. So what we're going to do is, I can see the crack comes to probably right about there. So we're going to back up about 1/4 of an inch and start there, and then come all the way around and fix this crack. And of course I just touched it, so I got to clean it again. Alrighty, we got our back purge in. Grab a chunk of copper here just to kind of prop things up so it's not rolling all over the place. There we go. Now we'll fire up the welder and we'll get this thing knocked out. Alright guys, here we go. Again, we're going to start about 1/4 inch outside of the crack and go from there. Alright guys, and on this side too, we are literally going to go past the crack by about 1/4 of an inch. We gotta fix a little spot right in here too. We had a little blowout, some shit in the metal, which is to be expected. This is a used exhaust. Alright guys, so there you go. Now titanium is super hard to film, and I hate trying to do it because you can never focus on it, but you can see our repair to that crack. Looks pretty good. We went all the way around. We did have that one little spot where the metal blew out. You can kind of see that down there where we fixed a little bit of it. God, it was just stuff focused. Maybe it looks better on a bigger screen, but yeah, the repair came out pretty good. I think that'll work. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. I got to get some sort of a mechanism where I can film through a lens so that you can see the welds better. I know you guys keep saying that all the time, and I'm working on it. I'm working on getting the equipment to be able to film these, but it's very, very difficult because a lot of cameras want to focus on the inner lens, and then you got to set manual focus and whatever. It'll get done. But I hope you found that interesting. One of the main things you need to know about doing titanium and aluminum and even stainless, the cleaner the better. Now, with titanium, it's an ultra-reactive metal, which means when you heat it to a certain temperature, it reacts with the oxygen in the air, it reacts with the oils in your fingers, it reacts with everything. So if you have a fingerprint on this stuff and you heat it up to a certain temperature, once it's been heated with that fingerprint on it, that fingerprint is there for the rest of its life. So it almost leaves like a DNA trace on the damn thing. So we fixed this crack. We're going to go on and fix the gigantic crack I just found at the flange. But I'm not going to film that because it's the same exact process as we did here. We clean it up, we weld it up, and we're done. But that's just one step in this thing. So come along with me for the journey. We're going to fix the rest of this exhaust. I'll bring you guys back when we actually cut the major piece to do the repair on the vehicle. We'll bring that back and we'll fix that too, make that look wonderful. But for right now, I just wanted to give you guys a quick video on repairing this titanium crack and some of the methods that I use to do it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Should be very soon. We're going to try to hop on this quick. I got to order up some piping. Once we get the piping here, which should be Friday, I should have a video for you guys Saturday or Sunday with the rest of the process of this exhaust and downpipe and wastegate and all that stuff. So we're starting to pick up when it comes to fab work. This is where you guys really love these videos. So enjoy the repair of this no-name exhaust. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Make sure you click the little bell so that you get notified when I post a video, because right now our video views are and I have a feeling it's because you guys aren't getting notifications when I post, because we don't post every day. So make sure you're checking back to see, you don't have to check daily, maybe once a week is usually when I post videos. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Have an awesome, awesome night. I will see you later.